historical perspective, the drugs they get mainly induced by the neurotoxicity due to the occupational toxin. And then what about their categories? There are the three different main categories of the neurotoxicity. Number one is the metals, another is a solvent, and third one is the pesticides. Less than 1 lakh chemicals they are being used, and 2000 new chemicals per year they get introduced into the market. The minority tested for the neurotoxicity they get mainly recognized. Then what about the consequences of the toxin exposure for the nervous system? They showed the changes in sensory input, that is the loss of our vision. What is the effect of toxin? Which reduce the our visionary, that means the loss of vision. Then they also reduces the hearing capacity and the smell, etc. All they get changes in our sensory input, mainly due to the effect of toxin. Then they handle the capacity to control the movement as well as the body function. Then the toxin they get also affect our brain capacity, and they get manage their information. What about another consequence of the toxin exposure is they changes our behavioral as well as the psychological disorders. That means our mood as well as the personality they get mainly changed due to the consequence of the toxin. Why the nervous system is uniquely sustainable to the toxicity? Because mainly due to the limited capacity for their repairing, then complex functional organization, and which is sensitive to the organ malfunction. Then what about the neurotoxic syndromes? They are the peripheral neuropathy, then encephalopathy, then bulbar or the spinal cord syndromes, then extrapyramidal, then psychiatric, then neuropsychological, tremor, as well as another is a neuroendocrine. Then what about the exposures and their effects? Which shows the varied or ubiquitous exposure, that is the behavior get fixed due to the expectation of job exposure. Then their mechanism, which is very wide ranging, and for example, they relieve the target cell, they get processed in membrane transport, as well as our internal cellular chemical reactions. Then there is a specific as well as the non-specific effects are there. For example, of atomic due to the dimethyl amino propionitrile. That means, for example, of it is purely motor neuropathy, and it gets lead mainly due to the lead. Then another is a neurotoxicity. They get manifested as the continuum of the symptoms and their effects, which is mainly depend upon the nature of chemical, their dose, durations, and the exposure as well as the individual traits. Then another is they get also affect the central as well as the peripheral nervous system. They get mainly damaged due to the toxins. Then typically symmetrical sensory motors as well as the polyneuropathy they get also affect, or they get mainly damaged. Then autonomic demyelination, etc., which is showing in rare condition. The exposures are usually to cocktails of the chemicals, and they get rarely to the single chemicals. Then what about the early symptoms for their chronic poisoning? What do you mean by chronic? Chronic poisoning means the toxicants they get persist for the long period into the environment. So the early symptoms of the chronic poisoning, which shows the altered mood states, that is there will be the irritability, then euphoria, then our suddenly mood gets changes, then excessively we get tired, then feeling of hostility, then anxiousness, depression as well as the tensions. So these are the symptoms of the chronic poisoning. Then cognitive, that they may be the memory problems, they get lost or they get forgive the things. Then concentration difficulties. Then others are the drunkenness, then dizziness, then tingling, then sensation in hands or the feet, and the loss of libido. The symptoms are non-specific. Usually they do not interfere with our work. They get ignored or attributed to the non-occupational cause. And hence, we have an index of the awareness from the symptoms of the chronic poisoning. Then early motor or the sensory and cognitive changes. When the toxin they get increasing or their exposure, they show the changes in our reaction time. Then hand-eye coordination, they get also change. Then short-term memory, visual as well as the auditory memory, and the attention and the vigilance. They get mainly shown mainly due to the increasing exposure of the chemicals. Then there will be the manual dexterity, then grip strength, then motor speed. Here the hand get steadiness, vocabulary, then our color vision get, then vibrotactile, their perception and hearing as well as the smell, they get lost. Then what about their severity levels? There are the different levels from 1 to 6 level. In the level 6, they get mainly in the grouping, that is the morphological. And what about their explanation? The cell get dead, then axonopathy as well as the clinicals. Then in grouping neurological, its level is a 5th and it shows finding on their examinations. Then physiological as well as the behavioral changes in that group, the level will be the 4th, and experimental findings in groups. They evoke the potential as well as the neuropsycho test. It will. Then another level is a 3rd level, that is the biochemical, and what about their explanation, that is the neurotransmitters as well as the proteins. Another level is the 2nd level, that is the irreversible symptoms, and they get mainly subject to the symptoms, and here there will be the exam as well as the test get carried. And last level is a 1, and that is the reversible symptoms. The subjective symptom, there will be the no exam or the test. Then in a neurotoxicity, another will be the biomonitoring, which show the metal opens when they get stored in our bones, or the blood or the urine concentration, they get mainly affect or they get reflect in our body burden, and which is for our biological monitoring, that is the bone fluoroscopy for the lead. Then they get released from the storage sites and they may vary, but there will be the sites will be the very slow. For example, of if there will be the lead burden, the 50% over for the 10 years, and it can be accelerated with chelating agents, and it requires the treatments. Then another will be the clinical versus subclinical effects. This shows the electrophysiological effect as well as the clinical sign or the symptoms. Then subclinical or subclinical sensory testing is get carried out by showing the clinical as well as the subclinical effects in the neurotoxicity. Then color vision, then postal sway as well as the neurobehavioral cognitive domain, etc. Then population shifts and the accelerated aging as well as the compensatory capacity, etc. Then another is a peripheral neuropathy. In a peripheral neuropathy, there will be the metals, different kinds of metals like arsenic, then thallium, lead, then organic mercury, then gases are the ethylene oxide as well as the methyl bromide. And what about the grouping agents? They are the acrylamide, then dimethyl acrylopropionate, that is the DMAP. Then what about industrial solvents? They are the hexane, then methyl N-butyl ketone and trichloroethene methanol. And what about the pesticides? They are the organophosphates, then organochlorines, then and organotins, then lead arsenate. All they have the different mechanisms. Then what about the encephalopathy? It shows the global cerebral impairment due to the solvents, heavy metals as well as the. Then cerebellar, they are the due to the mainly toluene as well as the mercury metals. Then Parkinsonism, it is mainly due to the manganese, then carbon monoxide, and another will be the opsocolonus. It is mainly due to the keepon. It is mainly due to the keepon. Then what about the metal neurotoxicity? It will show in the heavier the metal and more will be the more toxic they are the lead as well as the mercury. Then there are the environmental risks. For example, particularly in water, then there will be the bioaccumulation. That means the chemicals they get stored into the living organisms. That is known as the bioaccumulation. If the organic form they get stored or they get come in contact our body through the food chain. And what about the root absorption? It is mainly due to the pure metal. That is the it get enter in our body through the skin or the inhalation. For example of mercury. Then inorganic metal they get comes in our body through the oral. And organic metal they also come through the exposure via inhalation as well as the skin contact. The neurotoxicity of the chemicals. We showed how they get exposed and due to their effects or what is the relationship between the exposure and their effects. There will be the sort of exposure and sort of effects. If there is the acute toxification, effect will be the acute, and if there will be the low dose, there is a less effect, but they get perceived for the long time. That will be the chronic effect. Then what about the implication of the continuum of the effects? They show the earlier alteration in the groups of exposed worker, and they get mainly using the sensitive measures of the impairment, and it can be used to promote the preventive actions. In later stages, there will be the good clinical knowledge they get mainly required, and they show the differential diagnosis, and which is essential to the adequate treatment as well as the care of disabled workers. They get showing in disabled workers. So this is about the neurotoxicity. Okay. They get mainly concerned with the neurotoxicity. Okay. Then the central nervous system, it is mainly concerned with the brain as well as the spinal cord. Then another system is the peripheral nervous system, that is the PNS. They carry the sensory information to the central nervous system. And what about the efferent nerves? They transmit the information to the muscles as well as the glands.